Hello students. So in previous session we have discussed about mechanism and components of GIS. Which are the components of GIS? That is hardware, software, data, procedures and people, the user of it. So basically components of GIS tells us what kind of things we require. Firstly we require some data to process. How can it be available? Data is available in spatial format and the non-spatial format. What is the spatial format to it? Spatial format means the latitude and longitudes are related to it, the data related to latitudes and longitudes, right? Now information about location, that is attribute and non-spatial data. Moving further, you can see here the software for storing and managing the data means in the software how we will do the analysis by providing many tools and techniques. That is what is required, that is the software, procedures, and you can see that after proceeding we make a format of it. After providing the proceeding for the final result, I need to do the some formats. I need to present a data which I have analyzed, and that is in the form of maps, photographs, digital analysis, report that can be done in GIS itself. And lastly, there are people to operate GIS. So mechanism and components of GIS goes in this way. These are the 5 components and their components work in the specific domain. Now, moving further, you can see what is the chief task of GIS. Yes. Now here I would like to tell you that you might think that mechanism of GIS, chief task of GIS, principle of GIS may stand one and the other too similar, but yes, each and every has a different task. So you have to remember in a such a way. Now we go for the chief task of GIS. Chief task of GIS is majorly query and analysis. Now here we will understand actually what is query and analysis. Firstly, in simple sense, if we think that GIS is helping with global problem, it is also helping with local problem. Now we think what is global problem? So global problem right now, current situation if we see, it is going on the coronavirus. That is the global problem right now going on. Yes, there are other examples of global problem also. Some cities and some states might have the problem of overpopulation, deforestation, critical geographic condition that comes under the global problem. Similarly, which are the local problems? Local problems are industrial facilities or figuring out best route for emergency. That is the local problem. If we see right now, the local problem might be where should be the urban health centers, where should be the private hospitals given the permission for the COVID patients. This is just I am giving you an example. Now, if we see, I want to see what is query and analysis, which is the main task of GIS, how it is possible. Query means what? I have some query and I need to clear it by using the GIS. I have some doubt of it. And finally, by using the query tool, I will be doing the analysis of it, what query I had and what output I am actually getting, right? So there are major tasks, that is measurement, location, trends, condition, pattern, and routing, that is rafting also, right? So here I can do any type of work. If it is related to measurement, if I want to measure a distance, if I want to measure an area, any of the statistical performance I want to do, I can do in this. Any measurements can be found out. If I want to find a variance, mean, mode, everything can be done in this by using the tool query. Next, moving further, location, addresses of a place or a feature, particular addresses of a place or a feature, and then accordingly we do the analysis that what kind of trends are going on, what is the condition of that location actually, what are the other attributes related to that location, right? Next, moving further, you can see the patterns. What is patterns now? Across the landscape such as land use. Yes, when we do any analysis, spatial analysis, we require the land use. What is land use? For the specific purpose, the land is used is known as land use. Means I have a partition of my land that this part, some of the part will be go to the residential area, some will go for the commercial area, some will go for the recreational area. That is land use. That how specifically we are using the land. That is known as land use. If we have a proper land use, the query can be solved properly because GIS solves which types of problem? Basically, it solves the problem related to spatial extent and proximity. And yes, For GIS, we require location of each and every problem. If I have any problem, I need to have one location. Till now, we have learned that. Now moving further, look into the trends. What trends? So yes, trend means what is the pattern going on? How is the pattern going on? If I take example of the only coronavirus right now is a major problem to us in Ahmedabad city. You are seeing every day cases are very much increasing. But yes, to some extent, some areas are not much affected with that. And that has some other rules and guidelines, right? But yes, we are not so safe also. So that is the trend, how it is going on. We all know that the government has given the red zone, orange zone, which I have already discussed in previous sessions. So the trends are very important. Through that, I can manage that where is the problem actually occurring, what is the source of problem, how is the problem coming, that can be solved by it. If I know the trend, if I know the existing trend, I can interpret the future trend, and what will happen can be understood by using this analysis process of GIS. Now, routing and routing. Which is routing and routing? That means movement along road network. What are the movement taking place along the road networks? Yes, there are major works in GIS. Many sectors are working. If we see, AMC is working for the road networks. The new TPs are coming up. The new road networks are building. Next, if we see the water supply pipeline network, the sewerage pipeline networks, the gas pipeline networks, all are across the networks and routes should be proper. The common example here I can also give you, that is the 108 ambulance routing, right? We require the optimum route through which 108 can be called. We all know that 108 is acquired with what? GPS, and it is working with the GPS itself, because right now Google Maps is giving us the better options that which is the optimum route. Similarly, to go in detail, GIS also provides us the network facility that which route or which area or which way you should find it out that you reach to the optimum route way, and with the minimum time consuming in such a emergency cases, right? So these are the major things, that is measurement, location, trends, patterns, routing, and conditions. According to that, we can apply query and analysis. Now, the simple questions which can be answered, that where is the stressed vegetation? Here I have taken only some examples, that where is the stressed vegetation, how far is it between a containment source and a potentially exposed individual? Right? This can be even answered if we take an example of any calamity or any emergency cases. We can answer this, that there is a containment zone and potential exposed individual. Right? How is land zoned for flood management? Yes, this can also be answered. That is the disaster management if we talk about, right? So we can also get the answers for it. Now, the analytical question, such as what type of analysis can GIS gives us? Where are all the blocks exposed to this pollution? Where is the location that all blocks are exposed to the pollution? What is the dominant soil type for oak forest? Yes, GIS can give us answer that which type of soil is dominant for oak forest. This is just an example I have told you here. That is how is analysis possible. What kind of answers can GIS gives us in detail. Next, if I build a new canal here, how people will be affected? Yes, there are some source. If I want to have a canal here in some area, there should be some parameters to be decided. There should be some rankings to be given. There should be seen that how it is possibly that it is helpful to our economy, it is helpful to our nation, it is helpful to the people residing there, and their safety can be managed by it. Now, students, you can see here, I have shown you here some geographic network here in the last right bottom corner. You can see that. What does it tell us? You can simply see the image. I have written there, geographic network. You can see through the whole earth, you can see GIS services, data, catalogs. There are many catalogs available, and hence there are possibly that more and more questions can be answered with this, right? Moving further, this is the example. I want to show you that how data query and what is the output we can get. The data, we have the village population. You can see here the buffer 5 kilometers, the mandals, right? So here we have given some query, some analysis that this is how identify village where population is greater than 1000 but no schools, right? So they have given us the output. You can see by keeping the data, by giving this many data into the input in my GIS and writing my query, I get a answer. Three villages of number 8, 5 and 3 are having population more than 1000. Sorry, it was my mistake, which is more than 1000, not less than 1000, and without a school. So how did it took this? It took this with the help of that how we were showing that what is the population, how many schools are there. You can see here, I have already applied the buffer analysis tool. What is buffer analysis tool? You can see here, buffer means what? Within my 5 kilometer, there should be no school, for example. So I have already given that in the area, in the proximity of 5 kilometer, there should be no schools, right? That is the thing I am applying in buffer. If I want that there should be school within 5 kilometer, the buffer area of 5 kilometer, I can provide even the tool buffer for it. And hence, by doing this, I can just write the query. You can select in the GIS framework the query, and you can get the answer that how GIS gives us the analysis. Now, is it very useful? Yes, because by looking to the Excel sheet, by looking to the data, and you analyze and you find out that what are the criteria I want to keep, this is the better way. So this is how data query and analysis can be done. This is how outputs. There are many ways to give the output a better look. Thank you, students. Next will be continued in the further session. So